4 teams enter the weekend with championship aspirations, and now 2 still have their title dreams intact. On this episode of This Week in the NPSL, we will tell you who is on their way to the finals. In the Magic City, Miami FC2 was at home for the 4th time in these NPSL playoffs. But would Duluth FC be rude house guests, or would they wilt in the South Florida Heat? In the other semifinal, an FC Motown team that has been a powerhouse all season long took on the league's playoff Cinderella story in FCM Portland. Did the clock strike midnight, or does Portland have one dance left? We have full highlights and reaction from both semis, and we announce our National 11 honorees. This Week in the NPSL is on location in Miami. Next. Welcome to South Florida and the campus of St. Thomas University, home to Miami FC2 and host to the first of our NPSL semifinals. I'm your host, Paul Boren, and we'll have highlights of that FC Motown and FCM Portland match in a few minutes, but we're going to start right here in South Florida, where Miami FC2 won the Sunshine Conference regular season title and then won the postseason title. Duluth FC, on the other hand, finished in second in the North Conference, but had a higher point total than every other second-place team in the NPSL and a higher point total than 6 of the first-place teams. So how would this matchup shake out in South Florida? Stormy weather was all around South Florida, but it was a beautiful night on the campus of St. Thomas University, and the Dade Brigade was out in force for the national semifinal. 5th minute, Miami putting on the pressure, but Jan Hoffellner is there on the start of a very busy night for him. And seconds later, another opportunity saved by Hoffellner. 8th minute, and the Duluth keeper comes up with another save. 10th minute, and it's number 10, Ariel Martinez, with a shot denied by Hoffellner. 2 minutes later, Hoffellner again, another great save. 15th minute, Miami FC with the build-up, and Chris Turpak with the volley into the bottom of the crossbar, and Miami starting to wonder how they're going to get one past Hoffellner. So it seems like Duluth is in survival mode early, and they do steady the ship, but in the 37th minute, Miami would take the lead from the penalty spot as Martinez converts, and it's 1-0 to the home side. 39th minute, Hoffellner with another save as Duluth looks to get to halftime down 1-0. 43rd minute, Jaime Chavez from about 30 yards out, and he hits the woodwork. 45th minute, Duluth looking for the equalizer off a free kick into the box and is corralled by Daniel Vega. Then in stoppage time, a free kick for Miami, Dylan Morris with a terrific shot, and Hoffellner just gets enough to carry it into the bar, and we go to half 1-0. 64th minute, Hoffellner with a great kick save, and Miami can't put it away on the ensuing scramble. 66th minute, Duluth with their lone shot on goal of the match, off of the free kick, handled by Vega. 72nd minute, Hoffellner keeping Duluth in it with this diving save. But in the 76th minute, McFarland would get the goal that would put it out of reach. Off of the corner, the beautiful glancing header far post, 2-0 Miami FC2. 87th minute, Hoffellner one last save as he stops the shot, but he also takes a shot to the head. He would exit after a spectacular night where he certainly warranted man of the match honors. 90th minute, McFarland would set up Jeff Michaud, who pokes it in, 3-0 the final as the scoreboard tells the story of a dominant effort by Miami FC2 as they move on to the finals with a 3-0 victory.
It's a big step forward for this organization, and it means a lot to our team. You know, we've been through a lot this whole season, and we feel like we'll put our all into this game just to make it to the finals and get another trophy.
Take me through your goal.
It's something I've been always make that run every year, you know, over and over again since I was a kid. So it's nothing really new to me. So
finally, you guys are going to play for a championship next week. What does that mean to you?
That means a lot. That means a lot, you know. I mean, this organization didn't start off as a winning organization, but since the past few years we've been establishing that, and we want to keep that going into the finals.
Nada, tranquilo. Ahora sí confiado. Al principio no estábamos confiados. Sabíamos que estos partidos semifinales son difíciles, pero ahora muy contento.
Everything went well. Originally we weren't a little bit confident, but going into it we knew semifinal games can be a little bit tough, but we did well and we have confidence now.
It's definitely a little frustrating from a player's perspective because you're doing all the right things to get yourself in those positions to score, but you just got to keep plugging away. I mean, that's part of being an athlete, is overcoming those setbacks, and we had a bunch of setbacks tonight, hitting the post, not finishing, and our team did well to stick true to the game plan and overcome the tough times that we were having putting the ball in the net.
Take me through your goal, the insurance goal.
Yeah, it was nice. I got on there late. We got a nice little through ball down the right side. Zayon was doing great the entire game, getting up and down the flank. I just saw the space at the back post, and he delivered it, and I just tapped it in. I did the easy part. He did most of the work.
Well, we always knew we were going to have to sit in and defend and try and catch them on the counter. They were very good on the ball and in possession, and really it worked for about 70 minutes. And what we told the guys was, you know, let's try and keep it within that goal. 20 minutes left, we'll push forward and get the equalizer and then win the game. And you know, we were able to do that towards the end of the game. Unfortunately, we had to drop numbers in the back, and we gave up a couple goals late. I couldn't be more proud of these guys. All season, they fought through adversity, even just to get to this point, and it was a respectable performance tonight.
Talk a little bit about your keeper, Jan Hoffelner, and what he did tonight, just keeping you guys in it.
Well, again, I think he's one of the best goalkeepers in the country. He's been doing that all year, and the thing is, we have two great goalkeepers, and one has been doing our shootouts for us, and Jan has been playing during the regular time, and they've both done a great job for us. So I can't say enough about both of those guys.
Finally, just your thoughts on the season as a whole. A great run for you guys.
Well, really, this is only our second year in the league. To make it all the way to the national semifinal, to region champions, this is my first year as a coach. The organization's gotten so much better in that period of time. I'm so proud. You know, obviously we're disappointed to lose this game, but overall this season was an awesome success.
Miami FC 2 clearly the better team on this evening, but you also have to wonder how fatigue hurt Duluth FC. Remember, they played 3 extra time matches, so they were tired and traveled a long way, but a great season for Duluth FC in just their second season, as you heard their coach mention a moment ago. When we come back, we head up I-95 to Morristown for complete coverage of the national semifinal number 2 as homestanding FC Motown looks to end the fabulous run of FCM Portland. Highlights and reaction from New Jersey are next, and later in the show we will hear from the head coach of Miami FC 2, Paul Dalgleish.
Keep up to date on the NPSL with scores, stats, schedules, and exclusive content on the brand new NPSL.com. Visit NPSL.com to browse our dedicated ticket platform, read up on team news from around the country, and view the latest episode of This Week in the NPSL.
Welcome back to This Week in the NPSL, on location in Miami, where the hosts, Miami FC 2, are on their way to the national championship final. So who is joining them? Well, in the other semifinal, you had FC Motown, ranked number 3 in the rankings, a powerhouse that lost only once all year, taking on the Cinderella story. Coming into the playoffs, FCM Portland was ranked 32nd, but they've already beat 2 conference winners in Orange County FC last week, who was ranked ahead of them. It made for an intriguing matchup. So who is going to the finals? Second minute, FC Motown going over the top, but a routine save for Scott Dalrymple on the shot by Chris Katona. 8th minute, and this right-footed rocket is a little more testing from Dilly Duca, but handled by Dalrymple. Meanwhile, FC Motown's keeper, Abdul Karim Danso, gets into the action a few minutes later with a diving save to his right. Ryan Callahan nearly gets the visitors on the board first, but this shot goes just wide, and we are scoreless at the break. 55th minute, FCM Portland a little careless on their own third, and Dilly Duca makes them pay as his shot finds the lower corner, 1-0 FC Motown. But just 8 minutes later, Portland would answer. Nick Evans, from an impossible angle, somehow beats Danso, and we are level. FC Motown looking to regain the lead, but this header is handled by Dalrymple. Then late in the match, a chance for Motown, but another terrific save by Dalrymple, and we go to extra time. 94th minute, and Dalrymple comes up with a huge save to keep it level. Second half of extra time, Dalrymple comes up big again, and it appears we're on our way to PKs. But in the dying seconds, a wild scramble, and the ball ends up with Lucas Tercy, who crosses it to David Nigro, and he puts it away. A magical ending for FC Motown, heartbreak for FCM Portland, 2-1 the final.
I thought we played extremely well. I mean, I thought after the first half we were going to get the win. We eventually did. It just took a lot longer than we thought, but everything went well, and we won. And we're happy.
You yourself bagged the goal tonight, adding on to the score sheet. Walk us through that sequence.
You know what? I really can't remember it well, but I just know I received the ball and I just tried to put it on frame and it went in.
Absolutely. Going up against Miami now in the final, do you have any thoughts going into them? Do you know anything about them? Anything you want to prepare for?
I don't know much about them, but I know they've been a team for a while, and so they're going to have some chemistry, some good cohesion, and we just got to be up for the match and really compete.
You feel like the confidence and the chemistry that you have with the Motown squad is definitely enough to take on anybody at this point?
Yeah, we're having fun. We're getting wins. We're having fun. We're enjoying our soccer. So I think it's going to be a fun game, exciting, and I hope we win.
I'm very proud of my boys. They play hard all the way to the last minute. Obviously hurt to lose, especially coming this far. But it's a good team. I would say it could go either way, and in a way, if they win, it's because they deserve it.
Played against a really strong side tonight. Obviously, we didn't know too much about them, but got a little feel in the first half and kind of felt like we had a good chance. And we gave it a run and nearly made it all the way to the penalty. So can't ask for any more from the boys.
Even though you guys had a heartbreaking defeat here, really late into extra time, I thought your team put together a phenomenal performance up there in the press box. How do you feel about the lads and what they did to you guys tonight?
I think both teams did really, really well. I think it could have gone to penalties and either team could have taken their chances. Obviously losing a game, we'd hoped that we had a little few more chances we can put away. But I think it could have gone either way, and we could have easily had a goal at the end there, and I don't think they would have complained, and we certainly haven't complained. So, again, we lost against a great side, and we'll take it humbly, and we'll be back again next year and hopefully put in another show.
So it is set for next Saturday night, the NPSL National Championship, as FC Motown hosts Miami FC2, and we will be there to cover it all for you. But plenty more to come in this edition of This Week in the NPSL. When we return, we will hear from the victorious coach of Miami FC2, Paul Dalglish, on their win tonight.
Passage is the official ticket provider of the NPSL and powers the league's dedicated ticketing platform. Support live local soccer by visiting tickets.npsl.com to find tickets to NPSL matches near you directly from NPSL teams.
The party is on here in South Florida as Miami FC2 is now one win away from hoisting the national championship trophy. And joining us now is a man who helped engineer it all, the head coach, Paul Dalglish. And Coach, just talk about the match in general. You guys were so dominant but couldn't break through. Did you sense any frustration building or anything?
Well, that's what you've got to guard against. Guard against. You've got to guard against that frustration. When you're playing as well as you are, you've just got to keep doing what you're doing, not try and change through frustration. That's sometimes the mistake you can make, is when you keep plugging away, and you're really being dominant in the game. Sometimes when the goal doesn't get in, you might try and change something. But it was just important that we stay consistent and trust that what we were doing would eventually break through, and then eventually it did. And then I think we continued to press, and their goalkeeper was outstanding, to be fair. What a performance he had, and he deserves a lot of credit for keeping the score at 3-0.
For people who haven't seen your team a lot, and obviously they're going to get a lot of what you guys have to offer here, talk about your team a little bit. The skill level is apparent, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, it's taken it takes time to put a team together the way we want to play it. It wasn't as pretty as that at the beginning of the season, I can assure you. It's taken a lot of work, and the players deserve a lot of credit. They're starting now to be able to perform the roles within the system without having to think too much. And it's becoming really natural to them, and you can see that with the creativity, you can see that with the movement, you can see that with the free-flowing football. So it really is a joy to watch them play at the moment. And at the beginning of the season, I'm on the touchline, I'm shouting instructions, I'm trying to make sure that people are doing what I want to do. Now I can actually sit back and enjoy my team play, because it's a pleasure to watch them at the moment.
You're in the national championship game, but just talk about the journey of this team, because there was so much uncertainty. What was going to happen with this team? Where would you guys play? Would you play at all? Talk about going from that point to this point.
Yeah, listen, this has been psychologically a very draining season for a lot of people within the organisation, and that's why I've got so much pride in this group of players, because despite all of that, all the off-the-field things, some disappointments, some worries that they've had, then they've performed to that level, and this was a tough conference that we were in, and we managed to get out of it at the top, scoring the most goals, conceding the fewest. So they've been successful the whole way through, and as I said, I'm really proud of them, and they deserve a lot of credit for what they've done and how they've done it.
As we're recording this, you don't know who your opponent will be next week, but does it matter? Is it more just about what you guys have been doing and keeping that going?
No, obviously matters. We'll plan accordingly to who we play. We'll do video. We'll take our preparations very seriously. But for us, we like to think that we're a pretty good team, and teams have to adapt to us, and have to, you know, we want to try and make sure that we enforce our game on the opposition, and that's what we'll try and do. We've not changed. You know, people can watch the video from the last 10 games that we've played, last 8 games, whatever it is. We've not changed system. We've played the same style. So there's going to be no secrets about the way we're going to play. We've just got to make sure that we're good at what we do, and try and make sure that we adapt within our system to cause them problems within theirs.
Finally, you want to say a word about the great turnout tonight and the great support of the community?
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. This is, you know, this is one of the reasons why I was attracted to this club. I was quite happy, and I'd bought a house in Austin, and then I got the phone call, would I be interested in Miami, and I jumped at the chance because of the way this organisation's been run. From the outside looking in, it was a wonderful organisation, and now I'm lucky enough to be on the inside of it. And the people, you know, it's not just the supporters, it's all the guys that work behind and the girls that work behind the scenes to make this club such a success.
Well, congratulations, Coach. It's been a pleasure watching you, and good luck next week.
Thank you very much.
That's the head coach of Miami FC2, Paul Dalglish. And when we come back, we'll hear more from the other semifinal between FC Motown and FCM Portland.
Keep up to date on the NPSL with scores, stats, schedules, and exclusive content on the brand new NPSL.com. Visit NPSL.com to browse our dedicated ticket platform. Read up on team news from around the country and view the latest episode of This Week in the NPSL.
So congratulations to our National 11 honorees, and make sure you check out NPSL.com for all of the postseason awards, including several others announced this week. Now, as we told you earlier in the show, FC Motown winning in dramatic fashion in the final minute of extra time. Let's hear from another happy member of that squad.
FC Motown victorious 2-1 here in the national semifinals of the NPSL playoffs. Matt DeLuca alongside head coach of FC Motown, s2e13. Coach, what are your overall thoughts on tonight's game?
I've never felt so bad for an opponent. You know, big credit to Portland. They played a phenomenal game. They took us to the last minute of the game. You know, credit to them. And you know, soccer is a cool sport sometimes, and you know, it happened to go our way. You know, on any given night, it could have went the other. So, you know, we're lucky. We had the survive and advance motto the whole season. You know, all I can say is props to Portland.
Can you take us through that final sequence where you guys scored to eventually have the game winner?
I didn't see too much because it was a scrum. All I saw was the ball in the back of the net, and that's really all I need to see.
And one final question. Your back line came up huge tonight to really limit the opportunities of Portland, not only in terms of shots, but just opportunities. What did you think of their performance?
Our defense has been great all year. You might have to fact check me on this, but I think we have the least goals against. You know, Chris, Julius, and Hani, Mitch, Andrea, you know, they've been phenomenal all year. And, you know, they just take care of their responsibilities and did their job.
FC Motown victorious 2-1 here tonight. They will advance to next week's NPSL championship game played right here at Drew University.
And again, our national final is set. It will take place at Drew University and pit FC Motown against Miami FC2, and we look forward to being there to capture all of the action and hear from the national champions. We hope you will join us. So for everyone here at St. Thomas University and up at Drew University, thanks for all your help in contributing to this week's show. We're back with you one last time for the 2018 season. It is the National Championship, and we will join you with all of the coverage right here on This Week in the NPSL.